Hi friends, Goddess of Awesome here. I wanted to elaborate a little bit on the compassion for men. And I feel like I got a little bit more into my history than I had expected to with my healing process, which was all necessary to share. But I feel like I missed something, and I wanted to add that in here real quick. For most people, or a lot of people, having gone through any kind of trauma as a child and having found an amazing energy healer like Bill, that might have been, doing enough concentrated work might have been enough to get that individual out of an industry like the one I'm in. For me, it never happened that way. I've tried to leave. I've tried to leave a few times, and for whatever reason, I would always find my way back, to be a central massage therapist. And I have a girlfriend, very dear friend, who I met in college, and she was the first person I ever confessed that I was a dancer to. Of course, I was crying at the time because I just, there's so much guilt and shame I had because there's so much nonsense in my brain, and I wasn't taught that our bodies are pure and good. And people teach their children you got to cover up because there's a lot of shameful parts. I love that Europeans don't have that. It's pretty much an American thing. We're very prudish with our bodies. Other countries, they'd rather not see violence than breasts on television. We're just the opposite. We're all about violence, and we can't talk about sex. It's so strange. But anyhow, getting back to the healing process and being a sex worker. I think for me, it was very advantageous to be in the adult industry while I was going through my energy healing with my energy healer, like over the course of 2 years, because I needed to hear stories from other people, I needed to hear grievances, I guess. I needed to hear just life stories from other people, and those other people meaning males. Like, I never thought that boys could be, I don't know, I've been such a hurt person and I'm a girl. I figured it only really happens to chicks, and it doesn't. Boys can have abuse happen to them, and certainly men can feel very left out and be very emotionally wounded and have horrific stories of what it was like for them to be raised up, or what it's like for them in their current relationship. So here, for me, listening to these different grievances and real stories from men, it helped humanize them even more for me, right? More and more and more stories I heard, the more and more men became human for me. And with that humanness is where where I touched and I found compassion, It's hard to hate when you relate to somebody, right? It's hard to point fingers and make them separate from you when you can understand where they're coming from and you can empathize because you can relate to it. So where some people might have left this industry after they found a healing so significant like I did, and I did try to leave, for whatever reasons, I keep coming back, to this industry. So getting back to my dear friend, who I told in college that I was a dancer, first person to ever know. Well, about 10 years ago, I had a conversation with her, and I was just telling her my frustrations, I just can't believe I'm still in this world, I'm 30 years old, 29, 30, how have I not gotten out yet, And she said something to me that kind of rang a bell, and it was a little hard to hear. It wasn't necessarily hard to hear as it was a little hard to chew on and mentally consider it, you know? And so what she said to me when I told her how hard it is for me to leave the industry, I've tried, I keep coming back. See, I had been out for a whole year at that point, and I just got back in. So this is the conversation after I just got back in, having with her, and she said, you know, have you ever considered the thought that this might be your path? You know, there's a lot of sensual artists out there. It's kind of underground, but there are, she was telling me about conventions that come together, different sex worker conventions, tantric conventions, you know, sacred sexual energy conventions. And I realized that that is what I do. I am all about sacred sexual energy. You know, this is what I teach. This is what I've been working with. As a sensual massage therapist, I am a sensual energy healer. Now, I'm also an energy healer. Like, my work does not have to go into the sensual or sexual part or sphere or corner of the universe, right? I am a Reiki master and an energy healer, a spiritual counselor, and I have a lot of things that I want, you know, that I'm very valuable for women too. I'm not just a man healer. I'm a human healer. You know, I'm also an animal healer. And energy, you know, an energy animal healer. And so while I may have a special touch or niche within helping men feel better and be able to release stagnant energies, not just what you're thinking about. I'm talking about energies in their cells. Releasing stagnant energy. I can also help women, right? I'm not just for one gender. Though I have been working with men a lot because obviously it's been supporting me. But come on, who needs healing more on our planet than the males, right? Our men and our boys, they need the healings, right? Women do too. We absolutely do, because what's happened is we have our men who society squishes, right? They're not allowed to feel. And then we have women who we're allowed to feel. And by the time you get the men who aren't allowed to feel with the girls who do feel, well, these women are so frustrated, right? We can't get our guys to respond properly. Like, we don't understand why he's mentally checking out sometimes. Like, so women, we go through hell and back, you know, it's dealing with some individuals who are not as developed as, you know, she might be. So my greatest desire is to help the planet heal, and that is what I'm here to do. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there messed up about sex. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of false truths. There's a lot of suggestions out there that might influence minds that aren't necessarily going in a positive direction, you know? Certainly, if any of you have checked out some pornography, now not all pornography, but some pornography can be very, very dark, right? The energy is dark. The emotions are unhappy. And just real quick, any client I've ever spoke about the topic of pornography, sometimes they bring it up. Actually, most of the times they bring it up. And I've had many clients say to me, why? They say, why? Why is pornography more this way these days? You know, most guys don't want to see a chick cry. They don't want to have sex with a crying girl. They don't want to whip her around and be mean to her and get off at the same time. Like, most guys, they want their girl happy. They want a smile on her face. They want her enjoying herself. They want her happy to participate. That's the kind of pornography I think that would probably sell better. or would be more true to life, because that's what most, from what I have heard, that is what most healthy men want to see. Now, there could be some unhealthy minds out there who obviously thrive on the other energies, but so my desire is to, let's talk about sex, let's help each other, heal. And you know, as we heal on an individual level, the planet heals. Every time your vibration shifts, no matter up or down, you're going to draw in different people who match that frequency, right? So the desire, if you really want to be living an uplifted life, is we're always should be raising our vibration and hanging out with other people who are also raising their vibration, and being in that higher, elevated mental, emotional, spiritual state, you know, here on earth. So yeah, so I just wanted to add that and say that my work has helped mend me, because I have heard so many stories from human beings that are males with what they have dealt with, sexual abuse and feeling neglected and left out and inadequate. I've heard so much of it that it humanized. The more that I've heard from men, the more human they feel to me, and the more human I've known men to be, the more I have compassion for them. That's how that works. So I'm going to leave it there and just say thank you so much for being here, and I hope some of this could have helped you on some level. If you have any questions, please state it in the comment section, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to hear more and stay tuned, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I'm the Goddess of Awesome. Be well.